So our SSA 47 Super Spring kit comes with 2 Super Springs with the shackle assemblies already installed. We have our mounting kit hardware, our polyurethane spring pads or PSPs, our sticker pack with the warranty information on the back, and our installation instructions. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is remove the rollers from the shackle assembly and the bolts that hold them in place. We'll set those aside. Next thing we'll do is place the PSP 11 on top of the spring plate with the flat side up and the groove in the top of it facing toward the front of the vehicle. Now we're going to place the lockdown kit onto the Super Spring by putting the U-bolt around it with the threaded ends facing up. The clamp plate will go onto the U-bolt with the legs of the clamping plate downward onto the top of the Super Spring, and then thread the 2 3/8 nuts onto the U-bolt. Don't tighten the nuts down all the way. We want to be able to move the lockdown kit front to back so we can adjust the location of the spring. Now we're going to place the Super Spring on top of the leaf pack, and the bottom of the U-bolt needs to be positioned into the groove on top of the poly spring pad. So once you have the spring in place, rotate the legs of the shackle downward on either side of the factory leaf pack. Couple things to note: we have the U-bolt for the lockdown kit is locked into the groove of the PSP pad. Once we're all done assembling and getting the spring installed, we'll tighten these down, which will lock it down front to back. The position in this application where we want the shackle legs is going to be right in front of this spring clamp and right behind the sway bar end link. And then when we compress this, our rollers and bolt will go in underneath and add that preload tension that we want. Some leaf springs have an anti-friction pad between each of the leaves, and there's a nub of plastic that sticks through the leaf pad to hold it in place while they're assembling it. In the case of this situation, we have the roller sitting right where one of these plastic nubs is at, and so we're going to go ahead and knock that off with a chisel. So now that we have the spring in position, we're going to use one of our installation tools, the ITL1, to clamp the spring down and install the roller and bolt assembly. Notice that we want to make sure that the threaded ends of the bolt are facing outward away from the frame so we don't have any interference issues. Once that's on there snug, we'll loosen tension on the clamp, and then we can move to the rear. We'll tighten those bolts down at the end once we're sure that we have everything in place. Now that we have the front shackle attached, we're going to do the same thing in the rear. We're going to check on the bottom of the leaf spring for any plastic nub that might be in the way and remove it if there is. And then we're going to use the installation tool to clamp the spring down and place the roller and bolt assembly in the shackle below the leaf spring. Once you have the shackles installed, we're going to tighten down the lockdown clamp nuts. Next, we're going to tighten up the nuts and bolts on the roller end of the shackles, and then our installation will be complete.